Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Look at the got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 6 of the UK SimRacers MX5 Season 1 of 2024. And today we are off to the wonderful world of Indianapolis Motor Speedway here as well. Track length 4 kilometers. We are going to take MX5s on our oval, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Craig Jones, who's going to come and give his wonderful insight into these wonderful machines here as well. But let's keep you up to date with what is happening in the scores on the doors for this season. In the pros, it's Tom Griffiths out in front at the moment. Hold on, no, it is definitely not Tom Griffiths out in front at the moment. So let's make sure that this is actually going to work correctly this evening. Because I actually believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is Pete Newman out in front currently at the moment on 505 here with Jamie Ayres on 484. Tom Griffiths on 461 and John Sylvester on 439 with Ewan Bramer on 420. Steve Hefford in 6th on 407 with Ralph Cullinan on 390. Miles Owens on 376 with Darrell Wright on 351 and a 298 for PV. In the AM Championship at the moment, it is Fiona Siddons who is sitting on top of the AMs here as the overlay just does a bit of a moment. Colin Sampson in 2nd, Mick Barry in 3rd, then Alan Toon in 4th, Dan Lewis in 5th. Then you've got Arnold Chagnon, Callum McPherson, Alexander Longo and Andy Littler. In the overall team championships here currently as well, it is what is no longer SOB. They are under Sim Racing Sweden Esports out in front on 1,235. Bomo in 2nd on 1,189 with results Clothing on 928. Work by result on 558. Pure Sims on 505 with Year 1 on 275. Then Air Smart Racing on 128. And then Safeguard by result on there after that one. It's going to be an exciting one. Ovals on an MX5, Craig Jones. What more can we ask for?
Yeah, not for the first time either. When I was racing these back many years ago. I remember doing it on the track in the MX5, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, to be honest. I thought it was going to be absolute carnage with things going on everywhere, but it actually turned out to be a lot of fun, and there was some good racing. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Should be an exciting one, I think, as well, with the cars out on track here. David Ellis, welcome in. Did someone say professional pool? Yeah. Behave yourself. Technical issues happen to the best of us. As we are into qualifying now as well. They do have 15 minutes of qualifying. You can already see we're 4 wide there. Do we think 4 wide's going to be the pattern of today, Craig? Because this Indianapolis is quite a wide track in general.
I think for the first time we're probably going to be talking at least 4 wide, if not more, for some of these corners. It's certainly possible around here. I guess we're going to have to wait and find out for the race. A bit different when we're qualifying here, so obviously everyone trying to get a bit of toe and trying to gain as much advantage as possible. Not many cars on track at the moment, so there might be a few people just waiting for the end of quali, because if you do miss quali, to be honest, you're not really going to be at much of a disadvantage with it being the track that it is. So yeah, we'll see if any more is going to turn up just towards the end of the qualifying session.
Yeah, Ewan Bramer's in chat. He should be out on track. Ewan, why are you not out on track at the moment? What is going on with you? As we can see, Sir Alan Toon. I think Tooney's waiting to pick up the draft here as well of one of the Momo guys who are all in the mix. 2, 4, 6, 8 of them here running around this wide circuit here as well. It's a bit of a different season, this one. You know, it's not in their sort of season where they have, obviously, their autumn season where it's free together. It's kind of on its own as an individual season, I think, isn't it, this one, the Winter Series? So there's not a lot to play for, apart from just beating your friends, of course, but, you know, it's still going to be exciting, and going to an oval I always find quite interesting, especially as the fact that I'm used to watching, you know, NASCARs or Indy cars hurtling around an oval. To watch little MX5s doing laps of about a minute, I mean, this could be okay. I think this might work, Craig.
Yeah, I think it will work, and it's the perfect series to do it in as well, with the Winter Series. So there's nothing. People are committed, don't get me wrong. Anything you're racing, it's a 12-week series. You're going to want to do well in it. You're going to want to perform. You're going to want to try and win just for the bragging rights. But yeah, when you're testing the waters just to see if something's going to work and try new concepts, and even just try new, you know, if you've got new hardware, new software, new setups for the car, now's the time to be testing them and tinkering, let's say.
Tinkering.
Yes, that's a manly word, that is. Every man should know what that word means.
Tinkering. Okay, well, no, that's good to know that obviously, you know, it's a manly word. I'm not quite sure how that is a manly word, Craig Jones.
Well, I'm going to make it a manly word. If I say that it's a manly word, my manliness alone just qualifies it as a manly word.
Right. I'm also feeling that there could be a distinct smell coming out. Well, and I don't feel that...
That's not how you'd be qualifying.
No, definitely not, considering especially, Craig, because they can't come back out the pits, can they?
No.
No.
Hopefully not a sign of what's to come in the racing.
Yes.
I expect it will happen, but hopefully not too frequently.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think we are in for moments exactly like that. But they are actually coming back out on the pit, out on the track there, which I'm quite surprised about, because normal, once they go back into the pits, they're not allowed to, unless obviously for the Winter Series it's changed, Craig.
Correct, yeah. So if I remember rightly, generally on the Winter Series, some of the rules were relaxed a little bit. So I do believe you can come out. And I suppose as well with a track like this, you know, you're probably going to want to relax the rules a little bit around pit stops and sort of going into the pit lane and coming back out. So, yeah, I believe that is a factor of the Winter Series in the MX5.
Absolutely. Pete Mangle is out on a track there as well. He's currently got Darrell Wright in front of him, with Jamie Ayres in front of that. There's the 64 coming out of the pits at the moment. That's John Sylvester. He's going to merge right at the time these guys are going to come through. He's going to want to be up to pace to get a good lap though, Craig, because he needs to kind of stay with a draft, isn't it? Draft is quite important here.
Yeah, you don't want to be on your own on any track, let's face it, but particularly around here, let's face it, you've got 4 corners. It's going to be a long, boring race if you've got no one in front of you to race or no one to kind of fight against. So yeah, to get a decent time, you're going to have to stay in this draft. If you don't, it's game over, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's going to be more exciting is to see how they're going to handle this. See, you can get 5-6 wide across here. We've just got 4 wide going on at the moment. There's the 4th one popping out. We've now settled back into 3 wide, coming into turn 1. I think if the racing's going to be like this, Craig, I think we could be in deep trouble here. I think we could see another Spa moment where it just, well, down the Kemmel Straight, anything was going to happen.
Yeah, I think we saw a real mixture of everything, didn't we, last time round? And this track is just completely different to Spa. But yeah, going down that straight, yeah, we definitely saw possibly at one point maybe too many cars going to. I think it was like 5 wide at that point, and that track certainly can't cater for that. And unfortunately, it ended up in a bit of a collision, let's say. But overall, the racing was really, really good, really exciting to watch, and I think we're going to see elements of that again tonight. I really do. But you've got to be so careful with these tracks when you are racing so close together. A little bit of contact, someone just gets slightly out of shape, and it can take a lot of cars out of the race.
Yeah, definitely can. I'm just trying to pick up on how fast they're roughly clocking. I was trying to follow Fiona Siddons because she was in the draft there as well, but John Sylvester's copping a big load of draft here currently at the moment. They're doing 70 miles per hour roughly off the big old NASCARs and Indy cars that go crundling around here as well, maybe more in the Indy cars compared to the NASCARs. So I think that's why we've got minute laps. It isn't just because they're slow, but they can't really go any faster, to be honest. This is it, 128. Not much. PBG's got a bit of a run going on here through the middle. He's topping out at 136, so not a massive amount of speed there, Greg, but fast enough to do that for PBG and put him sort of in front, I suppose, of everybody else coming into qualifying at the moment. I think he's going to be on for what should be a pole position lap here, really.
Yeah, it looks perfectly timed. That just shows the power of the draft. If you get it right and you're just in that perfect sweet spot, let's call it, you can really get some overspeed in these cars. They're beautiful cars for overspeed. They really are, and that's a prime example of what you can do when you time it right.
Yeah, you're obviously primarily an MX5 driver. Been more recently into the Clios. What do you prefer? What's your favourite between the MX5 and the Clios?
The two, you race them completely different, to be honest with you. So we've had lots of you got drivers that can drive both. You've got drivers that have been racing MX5s for a long time and have tried the Clio and they just can't get on with it. Obviously, 2 different cars in terms of the way that they drive and how they put the power down. I think overall, I personally prefer the Clio purely for the fact that it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit more of a tank. It can take a bit of a whack. It can take a curb and still remain stable. In an MX5, they're a little bit more twitchy. So you've got to be on guard for a quick flick on the rear or hitting a curb slightly wrong, and it does tend to unsettle the car. But that brings a whole different element to the racing as well. So yeah, it's a tough one to ask, but I think personally the Clio edges it for me.
I don't know. To be fair, I think the Clio is a car that I fully do love, and I think it's absolutely amazing to drive. I don't know. Maybe the Clio as well. I think it's probably one of the few times I will actually do on Greg, because maybe the Clio for me as well. Let us know in YouTube chat what car you prefer. So we've got Stuart Rice, Lisa Wright, even in all, Darryl Wright showing as an AM. He is in a pro at the moment there as well. I did manage to correct that while we are live. And then obviously Stu, thanks so much for joining us. Hope you're getting better soon, dear sir, and hopefully we will see you back in the booth very, very shortly. They've got 3 minutes remaining, gives them about 3 laps here. Not a massive difference. Everybody topping out around about 107 here with Jamie Ayres 107.97. But you can't really take quali on an oval for face value, can you? I think there's just more that can happen that could affect the outcome of the race.
Absolutely anybody, and I literally mean anybody, could win a race tonight, especially with the low numbers on track. You know, I love Alan Toon, and he won't mind me saying this, but even Alan Toon could win one tonight. He really could. It's gonna. I think we will see some surprise winners.
Fully agree with you. Could just be open. Anybody, anyone really in this short field here this evening can take this position, can take the win. It'd be great if Alan Toon come out and got a win. But the awesome as Bramer has joined in the quali session. Possibly should have held on until the car started going past you. Might have copped a little bit of a draft from your SimRace Sweden esports guys here as well, of Miles Owens, John Sylvester and Ewan Bramer. Them all running down here as well. I think what we're looking at now, Craig, could be the pattern of the evening. I think we could run 4-3-4 wide easily for the majority of the races.
Yeah, I think you're gonna. This is the picture we're going to be seeing throughout the night. To be honest with you, this is what I was expecting. That's a little bit making the track a little bit wider to get past Mick Barry there. Yeah, this is exactly what we're going to see. This is exactly what we need to expect from the racing this evening. And like I said, I do think we will see some interesting finishes to the end of these races.
Yeah, I think so as well, and I think have some very tight closures here once more, you know, with people along the lines of thousandths of a second between everyone to get them over the line, as Miles Owens is currently in 8th place overall. There's no real improvements. Tom Griffiths has got purples going along here in the sectors at the moment. Is he going to be able to round off this second sector with another purple here for Tom Griffiths? Doesn't at the moment, but I feel that could be a little bit. Is he going to be able to improve? Doesn't improve and sits in second place, to be honest. Last time out was only a 1:11. That is going to not be the best way of doing that one there as well. And I think overall, we could be in for some great racing. David Ayres, if that, I tell you what, I'm surprised she don't give you a whack. I'm surprised she hasn't got the broom out and giving you a whack. Because I know if I said that, my missus would, you know what I mean? So, but coming to the end of qualifying now, we will bring you up the grid. Pete Newman is on pole with Tom Griffiths in second and PVG in third, with Jamie Ayres fourth, Steve Hefford fifth. Then you've got Fiona Siddons in sixth, John Sylvester seventh, Miles Owens eighth, Ralph Cullen in ninth, Darryl Wright 10th, Ewan Bramer in 11th, and Alan Toon in 12th place. And Craig, they've even got a pace car out.
Wow, they're really going all out tonight, aren't they?
They're embracing the American NASCAR spirit.
Yeah, and what? Why not?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I watched Daytona in the Radicals, and they didn't put it on a rolling start. They put it on a standing start, and the standing start was on the start-finish line, which happened to be on about 14 degrees banking as well. And the Radicals being rear-wheel drive, they all went to pull off the line, and they all slid down onto the inside before they started going anywhere.
Yeah, that should have really been anticipated, that.
Yeah, I think they completely forgot about the banking and forgot that standing start is not going to work on a rear-wheel drive car here as well. But we are going to have These 12 gladiators battling it out at Indy Oval. Don't forget, guys, if you want to get involved in any of the racing, you can head over to UkSimracers.co.uk and join the Discord and come along and do this. We've also got some great racing coming up over in the JPB Leagues Discord. We have got Clios on a Monday. We have got NASCAR every 2 weeks on a Tuesday. GT4s on a Wednesday with TCRs on a Friday. We're also looking to get on with an IndyCar league every 2 weeks to run alongside the NASCAR. So if you're sitting at home and you fancy come and have some fun and joining in the IndyCar league as well, you should definitely come and get involved with that one, because that could be quite an interesting of racing. Plus, there's a lot more coming up on the JPB YouTube channel as well. We've got GT3s, we've got Radicals, we've got late models later on this evening, we've got TCRs, we've got VWSC 2024 modern LMP cars. There's loads. So if you like, subscribe, turn on the bells, get yourselves involved, because I'll tell you what, there's going to be a hell of a lot of racing coming up once more as well. The IndyCar calendar has been released with the dates, so you will be able to get yourself involved in that one as well if you want to. Okay, completely free entry, and you can come along and have some fun in the cars. So sign-ups will open probably tomorrow here as well, so get yourselves involved in that. The lights are off. The pace car is going to do a weird left turn, if I'm not mistaken. There he goes, and we are already up and running. I think Pete Newman has gone here, Craig. I don't think he's got a lot of option to go. I don't know if he'll still be in that lead position by the time they get round lap one.
I think we're going to see the P1 change constantly throughout this race. I really do. Not a lot you can do at the restart, or sorry, a start like that. You've just got to put your foot down and go for it. And does strategy play a lot in a race like this? I'm not sure. A lot of it's going to be down to racecraft, just being in the right place at the right time, and unfortunately making the right call when you need to make that call.
Yeah, I think with ovals, and anybody that's watched NASCAR, I was watching the Truck Series replay from last season on YouTube the other day, and I was watching it with some family members. They were like, does anything exciting happen? I'm like, oh, when it's NASCAR, you have to think on your feet. There is a lot going on around you in NASCAR, as a lot of people have found out more recently when we stopped Europeans in NASCAR. But I think this kind of scenario is they've got to decide now what they're going to do. Are they going to run 3? Are they going to run 4? What's the setup going to be? How many lines they're going to run? And we always know, we always talk about the draft and bump draft down the straights, let them go in the corners. That's the way to deal with that situation, because then you give them a bit of extra boost there, Craig. What you don't want to do is bump into the corners, because you will end up spinning out the person in front of you.
Absolutely, in particular in these cars, they are the most unsettled, as with many cars, to be fair, in the corners. So yeah, you've got to be careful where you're putting that pressure on. Absolutely, because like you said, one car goes in battles like this, and it takes a lot of cars with it.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I think that's the thing. You've got to run a NASCAR-styled race when you're in these cars. You can't run lonely, as Pete Newman is slowly finding out. If you drop off that draft, you are going to be in for a very lonely 15 minutes. We've got top 8 reversal race 2, don't forget, but it is a 15-minute race here as well. You want to latch on to the back of somebody. You want to make sure and sit there. Don't do anything, just sit in a nice straight line here, Craig, and run right behind each other.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's exactly what we're seeing on track at the moment. So I'm pleasantly surprised that we haven't had a little bit of rub and a little bit of a sideways moment from a few of them. It's certainly getting tighter, it's certainly getting dicier, but nothing so far in terms of that's overly concerning, let's put it that way.
Nothing yet, but I can tell you that much. They need to be latching up here. Alan Toon's slowly starting to drop off. He's running alongside Pete Newman. If the SimRacers Sweden boys can all get themselves in a line here, they can make a massive difference on this oval. They can all latch up and they can just streamline their way through here again as well. If you're latched up to the car in front, you do go quicker. Give each other a bit of a bow.
That's what I
There we
was worried
go.
was going to happen.
Pete Van Gaal on his roof. PBG, PBG, PBG. He is on his roof here as well. We'll have a quick look from Pete Van Gaal's angle as well. You see him latching up there, and boom, over we go. Round. We're looking at Darrell Wright's car, and now we're looking at nothing but sparks there as well. We can have a quick look from the TV angle and see what happened. I believe that was Darrell Wright and the SimRacers Sweden car in the middle. It was there as well. That was the E1 Bremen machine that caused, unfortunately there, Craig, a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, there's so much going on when you're in a pack like that. It would be the slightest of touches, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it was just enough to turn him round, and everyone behind him you're just waiting for it to happen. You're hoping, you're praying to every god you can think of in the world that it's not going to take you out, and unfortunately there's not a lot you can do about the situation.
Bremer, Wright, PVG and Ayres have dropped off this one now as well, and that is partly because of all the moving behind them. And I cannot emphasize this enough, and anybody that's done NASCAR will know, you literally need to do what Steve Hefford and the 64 of John Sylvester are doing. Just follow each other and then start making your move within the last few laps. You cannot be trying to do something in the middle of a pack here, Craig, because unfortunately that's what happens. NASCAR or oval racing in general, is very pack racing based. You've got to know how to drive in a pack.
Yeah, you do, but it's a bit boring, isn't it, really?
No.
It is a bit. You know, you've got to pull out, you've got to make some moves, and you've got to, yeah.
Did you just watch the crash, right?
I did, yeah, I did just watch the class.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just checking.
That is what happens when you don't do what you say, to be fair. So I do agree, but, at times it can become a bit tedious just following the same car over and over again in front of you, can't it?
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the thing, right? And I will vouch up for this as well. Is NASCAR at times can be incredibly boring, and this sort of style of racing can be incredibly boring. But I think it's how you look into the more things that are involved with it. You know what I mean? And you've got to look at what's going to happen and how you're going to position your car and how is it all going to work out and where have you got to be coming into the final lap. There's so much involved with it here as well. As you can see, Pete Newman now coming back up in that 118 machine, trying to use that outside line. We've got Steve Hefford being pushed. We've got Fiona Siddons, who's being a pusher at the moment, pushing Miles Owens along. Really, Owens needs to get in front of his SimRacers Sweden partner in John Sylvester. They need to latch up, and these two could be gone. I think if Owens pulls to the out, just comes to the middle of the track, Hefford's going to want to take the inside, and then that should allow Sylvester to lock on to the back of him. Even Sir Alan Toon is still keeping it here as well. He's on the left-hand side behind Pete Newman. If you're going to latch on to anybody, I suppose Pete Newman would be the ideal candidate for Sir Alan Toon.
I think Pete's given him a hand here and try to show him the correct path that he needs to take. But yeah, Alan Toon was up to 5th place a minute ago, and it just goes to show, we had Pete Newman leading on lap 1, and Pete Newman's now mid-pack. This literally can go any direction, and it can change just like that in a split second. It can all be over, or you could be winning this race. You generally don't know, and that's what makes these races so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I am surprised Newman's not. He is now, but he wasn't before, coming into the back of Siddons and letting Siddons pull him forward there. Now Tooney needs to slot in behind Pete Newman, give him a little bump on the straight to help him get some speed, then slowly back off coming into the corner. The last thing you want to be doing is bump drafting into that corner. You want to stay away from the cars, otherwise it's going to be absolute chaos. And David Ayres has pointed out a good point there in YouTube chat, Craig. I wonder if they have all allowed for extra fuel usage.
Yeah, I suppose. They're all a little bit of contact there. Don't want to be seeing that. That makes me a little bit nervous. Yeah, I think a lot of them, they're pretty smart, these guys, to be fair. They do tend to strategize. They do tend to kind of think ahead for stuff like that. So I would assume they've kind of thought about that. But I suppose we're going to find that out as the race goes on.
Yeah, but 6 minutes on the clock here as well. The SimRace Sweden boys are doing what they should do. Now, if you want to have a look and see just where Sylvester behind should be dropping off Miles Owens, and that's what he should be doing. We'll get back onto the straight, he'll latch back on. There you go, we're kind of attached at this moment in time. Just let him get round this corner, because the last thing you want to do is really cause him a drama. Now you go right into the back. We're going to go inside the MX5 literally, and you're just going to push him and push him and push him to gain your speed. Now as they're coming into corner entry, you should just brake a little bit, get the car out away from him. There you go, and off he goes again. And that is kind of how you bump draft efficiently here. Once more, you've got Fiona Siddons doing that. That is not how you do that correctly. You need to keep the car straight, otherwise you're just all out of control when it could all end up going wrong. We've got Tooney in there as well. I'm surprised Tooney and Siddons have not joined on to each other. That's it, Tooney out into the middle lane, give Siddons a little bit of an oomph, or try and come through. Latch on, Tooney, latch on. It'd be great to get an Alan Tooney, wouldn't it, Craig?
Oh, I tell you what, you've got your Mick Barry moment. It would be, mine would be louder if I was commentating on Sir Alan Toon winning a race.
Well, you might
you'd be able to hear me from where you are.
You still might get that opportunity. Can the man in the green machine with his name on the front take this victory here as well? He's trying to work it. You just need to be on the back of Siddons. You almost want to grab and go into his voice chat, just say latch on for the back, Tooney. Don't do anything crazy. They're sending it 4 wide into the bank in a 2. Is he going to make it around the outside? Sir Alan Toon. Is he going to make it? He has made it. Go on, Tooney. Oh.
I can tell you now that Alan Toon has got a massive smile on his face in that car. So although it's not over, him being in 5th place means the absolute world to him, and he will be loving every minute of this race.
Yeah, exactly. He's just got to drop down now as well. Latch on to Pete Newman or your teammate. Latch on to one of them, because you've both got to be giving each other a bit of a push here. Now we're going to have 3 wide. We could have 3 banks of 2. Siddons again. Stay where you are. Stay in the line. Oh, Tooney's going to go. He's all locked in there, Craig, and we've only got 3 minutes remaining here. This could be an hour.
Here we go. Keep going, Tooney. Go on.
Oh, everybody else, keep going, Tooney. Look at him rolling on the outside. He needs to come off that high side, though. He needs to join on to the back of somebody. Draft is your friend, Alan Toon. Draft is your friend.
He does, but it did get him out of that situation, I feel, a little bit there. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't think it's excitement I'm feeling at the moment. I think it's more nerves.
Yeah, he needs to latch on. I want to drag him into the voice chat and say, excuse me, Al, can you go and latch into the back of Jamie Ayres and let him pull you along with a draft there, sir? Because your speed would have just been scrubbed, and you need to get it back up once more. He needs to go once again. Here does Alan Toon. We have got a top 8 reverse, mind you, so at the moment Tooney will be on the 2nd row for race 2. That's going to be an interesting one to see how he gets on here as well. I'm not saying he's done by any short of the imagination. I'm saying he's losing a little bit of time. He needs to be latching on to a car, any car, follow the car. It doesn't matter what car, just pick a car, Craig, and stay on right behind him.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he needs to do. I mean, the reverse grid will help him for race 2, but let's face it. We had Pete Newman was on pole, wasn't he, for the beginning of this one, and look how far he ended up back in the field, making a little bit of progress now, however. So you can't rule him out. He's a smart driver as well. So I often wonder if some of the stuff he does like this is on purpose. We'll see. A minute and a half left of this race. It's not going to take long to find out.
It's going to be the final lap, I think. By the time they get round, I don't think they're going to make it for another lap. I think they're going to be, they're definitely on the final lap here as well. Alan needs a change of underwear after that close call. He definitely does. He nearly made it through. Still got an opportunity. Minute 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Is Barney going to be waving this time? Or are they going to just about make it? Maybe just about made it. I don't see Barney anywhere there. So maybe we are going to get one and one more. We're going to get this one and one more. And now Tooney's back up again here, Craig. He's looking spicy as the old little chili, isn't he?
Absolutely. I suppose I shouldn't really be biased, but I don't care at this point. It's Alan Toon, and he's currently in the top 5 in a race. It's absolutely wonderful to see. I've still got high hopes. I reckon a win's on the card at some point tonight for him. I really do. Yeah,
there as well. I would go out now and go on to Steve Hefford. Give Steve Hefford a little bit of a hand, wouldn't you, just to push his way through the middle. He's hanging that inside line, which is the shortest route, of course, behind the SimRace Sweden boys. And he is trying, he's pushing them forward. Tooney's sitting in 5th place at the moment here as well. They've got 4 seconds. I believe this should actually be the final lap of the race. I believe this should finish after this one. Barney is, I believe he's waving on the top left. He's going to be waving the yellow, the white, the checkered flag. And I think it's going to be Tom Griffiths who's going to come over the line and take the victory. He did with Alan Toon down in 6th in the end. But Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman, Steve Evan, Miles Owens and John Sylvester taking the victory there as well. And here comes Fiona Siddons with the Irishman of Ralph Cullinan there as well. I think, to be fair, I reckon we can get Tooney a victory. Sure, he can get a victory here this evening. That would be absolutely amazing. Waiting for Darrell Wright to finish here as well. Just got to stay with somebody. That's all he's got to do this evening now, and then make the move like Tom Griffiths did at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the pace, and that's the beauty of racing around an oval like this in these cars where they're so drafty. So yeah, you're absolutely right. There was a lot of occasions there he was out on his own and he wasn't really picking up much from any of the cars in front. So if he plays it smart, look at what Pete Newman did. I did say a couple of laps before then, he was playing a smart race, and look, he got 2nd place.
Definitely did. Right, here are the results from race 1. Tom Griffiths is your winner. Pete Newman down to the line, 2/100ths of a second back. Steve Efford 500. Miles Owens 700. Then we go into the 10th mark. Tooney in 6th there. Siddons, Cullinan, Ayres, Wright, Van Gaal and Bramer, who we know all got caught up in that little incident here as well. We got a little bit of a warm-up. I'm not entirely sure these guys really need a warm-up on an oval here, Craig. I probably would have expected them to do without that.
Well, I know this much. I need a cool down after watching that. That was pretty intense stuff to watch, and it's exactly what we was expecting.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's more to see as well. You're going to see more drafting action, and I'm expecting more here as well. I'm hoping we get more from Alan Toon. I want an Alan Toon victory, Craig. I think that would just be absolutely incredible.
I want it so badly, it's unbelievable. It would be great to say. So I think it was one of the races you were saying about the other day about the AMs that have won an outright victory in the MX5s, and I'm one of them. I'm just saying. I had to say it. I am one of them.
You had to put yourself in there, even when you're talking about other people. You still mention yourself, Craig Jones.
I just feel it's important for the listener base, that are watching to understand that, I'm not just a nobody. I'm a race winner. I'm a champion. I'm an AM champion in the MX5 as well. I just think it's important. So I just felt I needed to slip that in there. But you are right there. I don't think there's been many people that have achieved it, and honestly, that's not me boasting there. But it would be great if Alan Toon could kind of have his name enlisted on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he could join the list. I think that would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Because there isn't many that have got it. As we know, Alan Toon is one. You're another one. I'm not too sure who else has got one. There's more than you two, though, isn't it? Didn't Darrell Wright get one as well?
I believe Darrell Wright's got one at one point. I think I want to say someone like Roger Morton, when he was racing as well, maybe he'd got one in the MX5s. I can't really remember. It's probably some sort of data we should probably really keep of stuff like this.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'll write it down next time.
Answers on a postcard. If you can remember any AM winners from previous series, let us know.
Yeah, I don't remember this. How dare you upset the wife? Oh, what have we done now, Darrell? I'm not even in the same room. How have I upset your wife? Or has Craig upset your wife? Because if it's Craig, that's fine. Was Craig a champ at some point? Does he have a trophy to prove it? Do you have a trophy? Craig, do you have any trophies for your victories in sim racing?
Look, I do, but I really don't like to talk about them, to be honest with you, because I just think, if you talk about them, it just people think you're showing off a little bit, and that's not me. I'm not that sort of person. I like to just, if I get an achievement, great. I just like to sort of slip into the background and, not mention it again.
You put me as an AM? No, Darrell. It's a figment of the wife's imagination. You're a pro anyway. I did have you as a pro. So you are a pro. So there we go. If anybody knows Craig, you know that is completely untrue. He's got 4 earned trophies, and he's got 2 that were given to him just for, one that was given to him for participation, and 1 that was given to him because he felt like he was trying to exit the world on his own here as well. So big love to David Ayres for obviously, and Paul Godham for arranging that one for you, Craig. The one where you got lost at Silverstone and decided that it was going to be a good time to go to sleep forever.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee if I was racing tonight, I wouldn't get lost.
To be honest, if you managed to get lost on an oval, I would be so worried. So worried about you, Craig.
I'd be concerned as well, because literally there's I said just before we came on air that it was there's 4 corners to the track, and you didn't realise I was being sarcastic, and made some sort of inappropriate jokes towards me. But yeah, there's literally only 4 corners, so I don't think even I could get lost around this track.
Right, let's bring you up the grid for race 2 while Craig tries to find his way round the oval. Ralph Cullinan will be on pole with Fiona Siddon 2nd, Alan Toon 3rd, John Sylvester 4th, Miles Owens 5th, Steve Evans 6th, Pete Newman 7th, Tom Griffiths 8th, Jamie Ayres 9th, Darrell Wright 10th, PVG 11th, and Ewan Bramer down in 12th place. Well, so Alan Toon, you've got some shoes to fill, my dear. Let's see that victory here as well, because that would be absolutely amazing. I believe we are still going to have a pace lap, and there is a car sitting out in front. There is here as well, so that will give us about a minute and a half, if not a little bit longer here, Craig, to discuss who you think is going to take the victory this time.
It's impossible to call, it really is.
Don't sit on the bench, you get splinters in your bottom.
You might as well do 1 to 12 on a random number generator and see what number comes out.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay. Have a go at that. See what
I can guarantee that's the best way of doing it, because no one can call it. You really can't call it.
All right.
I hope it comes out of number 3 though, because I really want Alan Toon to get a win. It'll be amazing.
It's come out number 9, which is currently Darryl Wright.
Oh well, I don't want him to win.
All right, well,
fellow teammate and all that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll generate another. No, I still can't get it. It says 7. So yeah, number 7. So who's number 7? Tom Griffiths. So you've got Darryl Wright and I've got Tom Griffiths, and we'll see if any of us get Alan Toon here as well. Let's all will Alan to take the win. We will do as well. Let's all will David Ayres to figure out where commas go in a line as well, Craig.
I'm not looking at the chat, but I feel I must have to now. I've got to have a look.
Oh, dearie me. Right, here we go. We're going to get back up underway. We will take a break at the end of race 2, guys, as always. So we've got to change sessions over race 3 to race 3 and 4. And let's see how we go. We are going to be up and underway. The Irishman, that is Ralph Cullinan, is going to be out in front. He's got Fiona Siddons alongside him. We've got Sir Alan Toon tucked up there behind him now as well. And we are all ready. Green. PVG missed the start. Ralph Cullinan's got a bolt on. Alan Toon in second place here. Tooney's going to get help here, I believe, from John Sylvester in the 74 car, who's going to give him a little... No, that's Miles Owen, sorry. Giving Tooney a little bit of a push here as well as we start this opening lap of the race. Go Alan Toon. I think we're all sitting here. He's in the lead now.
It is. Alan Toon is in the lead of an MX5 race. It's amazing. It's great to see. And let's just hope this works out for him. I've got everything crossed for him.
Will Alan Toon take the victory? Will him on here as well. Please, guys, because we all want the 70-year young man whose birthday's got to be coming up soon, if I remember anything from last year, Greg, as well, as he's on that inside line. He's got the SimRacers Sweden and Miles Owens pushing him up behind him. John Sylvester's in the mix once more as well. Darryl Wright's trying to run that wide line. You're going to get squeezed against the wall there, dear sir, because Tooney wants that inside line. Here, I've got a funny feeling this could end up in disaster. We've got results, boys, at the front, and ladies, of course, in Fiona Siddons. As we start going round once more, Tooney needs to latch on. That's it. Good lad, Tooney. He's doing what we all want him to do here, as we're 3 wide practically. He's going to go and decide he wants to go 4 wide near enough. And as we're getting lap 2 underway, 13 minutes remaining here as well.
Yeah, it just looks like he's trying to get that kind of optimal line all the time, and you know, in this situation, you've got to be behind have a car in front of you. That's the only way you're going to do it. But let's face it, you know, first place in the race is not an ideal place to be in an oval race at this point. So he's dropped off the pack a little, dropped back from first place at the moment. So yeah, still in a good position. So yeah, let's see how the rest of this race plays out.
Absolutely, I think it's going to be exciting. I think with this kind of race now, you've got to look at the likes of Newman and Griffiths. They've got to try and catch up to the back of the pack, which would only mean for me linking up together. Now we're going to have to see 3 SimRacers Sweden boys if they can do this latch on here. And I think Tooney just needs to sit in behind Siddons. Just let Siddons pull you along. 3 wide, 3 deep. Near enough here as well. With the Darryl Wright just over to the left, give Siddons a little bit of a hand, use that long draft, allow Tooney to latch on to the back as well. Somebody needs to get in the middle of the SimRacers Sweden boys, because if they manage to latch on, you lot are going to be in decimated trouble, because they're racing as a team. They just need to be pushing each other down the straight and then back away coming into the corners. And I am surprised the SimRacers Sweden boys have gone and tried and did what they've done at the moment. Just latch on. Got 11 minutes. Just keep them there.
Yeah, like I said, it's easy for us to sit up here in the booth and dictate what we feel that you know the drivers should be doing. But when we're out on track and you know there's lots of emotions going on. There's mental challenges in your head, and it's a lot easier said than actually done. And trust me, racing like this, close like this, it is mentally draining. It really does tire you out. So it's you've got to be super careful.
I did that for the NASCAR race, didn't we? Running 27. That was, well, for me it was actually all right, to be honest. Considering I finished on the lead lap in 10th and started 3 laps down, I'm happy with that. David Ayres, his birthday's in February. What date are you in February? Hitting the big 60s. David Ayres, he's the second oldest in the results stable there, Craig.
Yeah, I know. If you just look at him, you can tell.
I haven't seen him, but I'm going to presume...
You don't want to, trust me. You really don't want to. I mean, Alan too much younger than David Ayres.
David might have had a bit of a rough life. You don't know that. You know what I mean?
Tough paper round.
I'll do a paper round.
I know. Yeah, I know you do, and you're going to end up looking like David Ayres.
Oh, it's gorgeous, really, Craig, and you're just being mean as we're going 3 wide now as well at the front. Now we've got the results pushing.
Oh no!
Tony, go right, go right!
Oh! I don't want to watch. Is it over?
Yeah, I think that leaves us quite a lot in the wall. Here. Started with the Momos and the SimRacers Sweden. They all hooked up. Tooney didn't. Oh, he hit the wall. Pete Newman can't get through. Griffiths. I want to see that from Tom Griffiths' point of view here as well. Have a look at this. If you're going to do it, Tom, do it like this. He's on the brakes. There's somebody there. He goes that way. Then he goes that way. And, oh.
Wow.
Go Tom Griffiths. Absolutely.
Go and buy yourself a lottery ticket, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 3 people in the pits. 1 is completely out in PVG. Now we've just got Bramer and Owens to fight it out with Ayres at the front for the next 9 minutes here as well. Fiona Siddons is also into the pits. What about Steve Hefford? Steve, come in, mate.
There was a lot of cars involved in that, wasn't there?
Yeah, unfortunately, Sir Alan Toon, Darryl Wright, John Sylvester, PVG, Pete Newman as well. Steve Hefford clearly was involved in that, and unfortunately, that's where it started. Steve Hefford coming over, well, it looked like he come over onto the 64, which obviously was John Sylvester, and then, well, that. Pretty much the pretty expensive MX5 carbon fibre patch there as well. Sylvester's also into the pits. Cullinan's going to be pushed along by Tom Griffiths. And Jamie Ayres, Bramer and Owens can fight it out once more here, Craig, for this win.
Yeah, it's good that we've still got a 3-car battle at the front, so there's still a little bit of excitement to come. So yeah, I suppose now is the time where strategy really does start to play a part. So I did say at the beginning, is there going to be much strategy tonight? But when you're in a 3-car battle and there's no one else for miles behind you, yeah, strategy is going to play a big part now, and obviously Jamie Ayres is out there on his own against 2 teammates by the looks of it.
Absolutely. In hindsight,
oh, he was nearly out there on his own.
Yeah, with the 2 SimRacers Sweden boys here as well. Jamie Ayres has got an option. I don't really know what his option's going to be, Craig, to be fair, because they're going to latch on to the 3rd one as well, which is 64. So he can either just carry on sitting in behind him, or he's got to look at trying to, I don't know, split them, go round them, use them. Something's got to be better than not doing nothing.
Yeah, what he's got to be careful of, though, is getting down on that inside line and then getting boxed in by them, because they can control the race from that point. You know, if he's there, he's toast essentially. So he's got to pick his move very, very carefully here.
I would do that. That would be cool. SimRace Sweden at the front, SimRace Sweden at the back, Jamie Ayres in the middle, and then the other third one sitting alongside Jamie Ayres and not letting him out. That would be awesome to see. I'm not going to lie.
It might happen.
I'm hoping it does. If any of the sim racing boys are listening, get Jamie Ayres in the middle and box him in, because I think that would be an ideal scenario, wouldn't it?
It would be an ideal scenario. And, you know, what I'm talking about is like how the police take down cars on the motorway on high-speed chases. It's that exact scenario, and they could control the race. Happy days for them. Not so much for Jamie Ayres. I mean, he'll still get a good result, don't get me wrong, but, you know, he's going to be wanting that win for sure.
It's tough from here, though, mind you. If you're wondering why we are only watching these ones, it's because these ones are the only ones who are really fighting here as well, because after we've had I think it was like 6 or 7 cars pile up on the straight here. David Ayres' birthday is on the 7th of February, and he also said he wants his trophy back.
He's not having that trophy back. That's my favourite trophy out of all of them, that is.
You said to me the other day, you said the Spaceman Gonk was better than that.
No, I didn't say that. They're different. They're not classed as trophies, but, you know, I've got two teams champions. I've got 2 AM championships. They don't mean nothing, but that trophy, that means a lot to me. So that's staying with me. Have you got any trophies, James?
Yes, mate. I have got 55 football trophies from when I was a kid, and medals, and they're up in my loft.
Are they the ones that they give you just for taking part?
No, mate. We got them for winners. I also got a winners trophy for playing in a cup final when I was a kid at Boringwood Football Stadium. I say stadium, it's more of a bit of a grass with a little bit of stand around it. But I still felt I was in the stadium. I still had fans there, and I was in a, you know, port cabin dressing room. It was all very, very posh, Craig. So I've got them, basically, from when I was a kid as well. Right, one of the things I am going to mention here, guys, as well, is me and Craig Jones up here in the booth are going to start a podcast as well, while these guys just carry on driving around with 4 minutes remaining here. We're waiting for them to box each other in. That would be quite amusing as they carry on. Me and Craig Jones are going to start a podcast called Conclusion Unknown, where we're going to discuss all types of conspiracy theories, ranging from whether or not we've been to space, to if Elvis is really dead. Who knows? There is a guy that looks like him, apparently. Whether or not Princess Diana actually did die in a tunnel, considering there's pictures of the front of the car that's got different number plates in the back, and a lot more others. So basically what I want you to do is head over to the Conclusion Unknown podcast YouTube channel, go and hit a subscribe on there and turn on the bells, and wait for the first one, which hopefully, Craig, should be coming out by when, do we think?
Oh, I think we could probably get it done this week, couldn't we?
We definitely can. So hopefully by Sunday we will be able to give you a little insight into mine and Craig's thinking. And let's put it this way, we don't always agree, do we, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, spoiler alert, me and James Parfitt don't agree all the time. I mean, it's come about from some pretty interesting conversations that me and you have had over the last few months. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be something different away from racing as well. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, should be a good one. Tom Griffiths is trying to push along Darryl Wright, that's Ralph Cullinan, I believe, in the middle. I think that's Darryl Wright in the front here. If he's not careful, could end up in the wall. Once more, 2.5 minutes remaining here. So there you go. David Ayres has already subscribed, so you're one of the 8, David. Thank you very much for that one, for coming along. Oh, David, you don't know what you're in for. What do we think? Craig, is it going to be a treat for people to listen to us to debating random things?
It's a podcast, so you can use a word I like to use when it's just purely all audio is going to be an eargasm.
Ooh. But there we go. You will be able to watch the video. We'll record the video on YouTube and then maybe stick the podcast on Spotify with just the audio there as well. So as we're coming into the last minute and a half here, as well, which we believe will be the final lap this time, as we got it a little bit pitong last time. But it will be the final lap by the time they get round turn 3 here as well. I think the problem with this race, though, Craig, since everybody kind of collided, it kind of went a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it's taken the excitement away, and that's also down to the amount of cars, unfortunately, on track. There's not many cars that can kind of pick up the pieces and gain those places. So yeah, it's took that excitement away. But it's only race 2. We've still got 2 more to come. So hopefully we've had our bad race for this evening, and the rest are going to be much better.
Hopefully we'll also see an Alan Toon win. Let's all be real. We all want that. As Pete Newman comes trundling over all on his own, taking the white flag. Go Pete, keep going there, Dick. As well with Miles Owens and Ewan Bramer behind us here again once more, fighting it out all alone. A suggestion for a topic for the podcast, if that's allowed, past life regression.
I guess it's open to many.
Do you know what's worse? I'm going to have to Google that because I have no idea what that means.
Right, okay. Better get Googling then.
What does past life? I'll have a Google while we're coming on to the final corner. We've got the SimRace Sweden boys out in front. Here comes Jamie Ayres. He's gone for the run. Is he going to do them all? Is Jamie Ayres going to do them all down into the start-finish line? Ayres is still out in front at the moment. But here comes Bramer. Oh, it was Jamie Ayres. Oh, Jamie Ayres snatched it by 1,000th of a second. Here as well, Jamie Ayres took the victory there, Craig, and he just happened to be sat in the right place at the right time.
That was a perfectly timed pull out and everything. That was just fantastic to watch. That really was. Look at that gap. That you just don't see that every day, do you? So that's a special moment right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is. 0.001. These guys come over the line. We're just waiting for Steve Hefford to come over. Yeah, they call it PLR, apparently. Oh, Steve, you're supposed to finish. Hey? Steve? Still ain't come over the line yet. I don't know if he's aware of this.
He wants to do it in style, doesn't he?
There you go. Right, let's bring you up the results and then we will change over sessions here as well. And it is Jamie Ayres, your winner by 0.001. As he come over the line there as SDK rounds it up. Ewan Bramer second, Miles Owens third, Ralph Cullen fourth, Tom Griffiths fifth, Fionnison sixth, Steve Hefford seventh, John Sylvester eighth, Darryl Wright ninth, Pete Newman 10th, Sir Alan Toon down 11th and PVG down in 12th. Right, guys, we will be back after this short break, as always, before we get into the next session. So, as always, see you after the break. Hey guys, welcome back to Indy Oval for the MX5 UK SimRacers here this evening. I am still James Parfitt. I'm alongside Craig Jones soon still as well. Thank you so much for joining us as we go into race 4, sorry, is a top 10 reverse. Race 3 is a complete random reverse here as well. We've seen some epic action take place here once again. It looks like we have just dropped into a bit of a night time here as well, Craig. I think that's going to add a spice to the situation once more at the Oval.
Yeah, it will. It's always feels so different, not just from obviously a darkness point of view when the light's going. I just don't know. It feels different to racing. I've never really managed to put my finger on it. So yeah, interesting to see how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, absolutely here as well. Hopefully we'll see an Alan Toon win, eh? I think that's what we were really hoping for here this evening.
It's what the people are demanding. It's what YouTube chat is demanding, and there's only one man that can deliver that, and that's Alan Toon himself. So I believe in him. I believe in his capabilities. It's possible. We almost saw it in race 1. It can happen. We just got to believe. We've all got to send positive thoughts over the airways to Alan, and hopefully he'll listen to them, and hopefully he'll get us the win that we all want to see happen.
Yeah, hopefully as well. We're just waiting. I'm not sure if we're waiting for a 11 across PVG here as well. So hopefully back on to this and can come and get themselves involved, whether or not he might have a session issue or take a night. Like he's in Eve. So I think everybody's here who needs to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. Elna, sir, welcome in. I thought it was Indies because I saw Indy Oval. No, dear sir, you're looking at MX5s as well. And 0.001. Holy. Close in. Hopefully we'll see more of the same for race 3 and 4 though, Craig. And no more big ones. We don't really want half the field involved in a wreck, do we?
No, just, you know what I really want to see? I really want to see just a little bit of contact, and I want to see just them saving it and just manage to avoid that big incident. And there's guys out there that's talented to do it. I mean, I've seen Jamie Ayres do things in an MX5 I didn't even know was possible in terms of saving a car. So I'd quite like to see just a little bit of contact, a little bit of like, oh, is it going to happen, and a good save. But yeah, hopefully we're going to avoid that big one that took out so many cars in that last one, because yeah, no one really wants to see that, do they?
No, absolutely not. We don't want to see half the field taken out here, because it's not a good look, and then we end up with a very lonely race, kind of like we did last time out. I'd rather prefer having everybody in here and still participating right to the end. That would be ideal as well. So let's hope we can get more of the same. I'm sure they're going to advance the session very, very shortly, so we can get on with race 3 here. In to 10 past 9. Alan just needs a stiff drink and a pedal to the metal, says David Ayres. I fully agree here as well.
Well, I can guarantee he's definitely got a stiff drink in his hand. It's Alan Toon. Yeah, that's check on that one. The next one, pedal to the metal. Well, we're going to hopefully find out very soon what mood he's come out on track on. Hopefully he's been reading some of our messages on the YouTube chat, or at least someone's been passing it down to him. I'd expect our team manager David Ayres was all over that, giving him advice in the break that we've just had, and some tactical guidance. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look like Jamie Ayres is taking this practice session particularly, let's say, professional. There seems to be a lot of interesting pit lane action going on here.
Yeah, but why not? You know what I mean? Let them crack on and see what happened once again. I'm sure we can get this going, and hopefully we will be up and running soon as well. Don't forget, guys, on the YouTube Shorts channel for JPB, there are some nice videos that you can enjoy from last night's Clio action. There's a good few going up as the evening goes on, so you can get yourselves involved and go and have a nose on that one. We have going to show you the grid for race 3 when it all kicks in. There we go. We're going to have Miles Owens on pole, so Alan Toons in second, Ralph Cullinan, Eamon Bramer, Fiona Siddons, Pete Newman, Steve Pepper, Darrell Wright, Tom Griffiths, John Sylvester, and Jamie Ayres. That will be it, and we're completely in darkness here, Craig. To make our job even harder, we're going to have no idea who is at the front. Craig?
Yes, sorry, I am here. Yes, I had to just deal with a slight technical issue on my end. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said to me.
I said we're in complete darkness, so it's going to make it even more interesting, I think.
Well, turn off the headlights as well. Why not? Let's make it really interesting.
I thought Indy had streetlights, but clearly hasn't. Has it?
No, it's going to make our job a lot harder, though, isn't it?
Yes. Have to be relying on the name in the better bottom left corner there. If anyone overtakes Alan, they should need to serve a drive-through. Ooh, that works. Like that one. I'll tell you what he is going to have to do, though. He's going to have to back up a little bit here, because otherwise he's going to get a penalty for overtaking the leader before the start-finish line, because he wasn't in pole position. So, yeah, Altoon there needs to back up, otherwise he's going to get a penalty grade before he can go anywhere.
Hopefully, people are screaming in his ear right now. He has backed off a little bit, but whether it's going to be enough or not, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty sure it was Miles Owens on pole. So, what is that pace car? Not the normal one. No, it's not. You get a choice in NASCAR. You can either select the sedan, you can select the truck, or you can select Mustang, I believe is the third one. But Alan Toon's going to have to hold off 1 minute there as well. Owens does take up the lead. Tooney does slot in behind him with Ralph Cullinan. And once again, we are going to be up and running for green. 14 minutes on the clock. Of course, nearly 15 minutes of Indy Oval racing in the dark. I literally did think that Indy had lights, Craig, but now I'm completely shocked that it's in the dark.
I couldn't tell you either way, to be honest with you. So this is the first time I would have found out. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't look too bad. I'm sure it's not ideal on track. But yeah, it's manageable, isn't it?
To be fair, they've only got to go left. They can't really get that wrong, can they?
Well, I'm not on track, so no. If anyone was going to get it wrong, I guess it would be me. So
I can see you going on the road on the left there, Craig, nipping up the pit lane exit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make the track up as you go along. That's how you win a championship and get a trophy. So yeah, that's what I'd urge him to do. But
yeah, it's doable. It's just simply follow the leader, isn't it? And but try not to make contact with the guy next door.
Turn left when you need to. What is the time? It's 6:30 on May the 15th, 2024. So we're going forward in time as well as we go off once more around turn 2. Get your foot down there, Tooney. Just go, dear sir. And let's see how you come out, whether or not you're going to take a victory here this evening. And surely it's got to be on the cards. Hopefully David Ayres or somebody's been in chat giving him a little bit of words of advice here as he's fighting it out down this back straightaway. Got to latch on. He's always been, I was going to say he's always been within the top 10, but that's not really hard when you've only got 11 cars, mind you. But he's been up there, isn't he? He's deserving to where he is at the moment.
Yeah, I'll say it again. It's not easy racing. It looks easy, and you can make all the jokes about there being turning left and 4 corners and all that kind of stuff. It's not easy when you're racing this close with this many cars around it. You don't see a picture like that, a few laps into a race at a normal racetrack. You will only ever see that in an oval. So it's mentally draining doing this. And I spoke to Alan today on the phone, and he was saying how tired he was because he's got all these activities he does during the day, and he doesn't have enough time to do them. So for a gentleman of his age, he does impressively well in these MX5s. He really does.
He definitely does as well. And I think anybody still driving at the tender age of 70, that is what Alan Toon is, mind you. He is 70 years of age as well. He's got to be 71 soon. I'm sure he is. Might even checking out when his birthday is, but at the end of the day, he's just doing what he is doing best here, staying out of trouble. They're 4 wide, going round into turn 3. That's lucky that one worked out as well. And we've still got all 11 cars running here, though, Craig, as they head into turn 3, at least 3 wide at the moment.
Yeah, one of the other dangers you've got of racing like this is also the dreaded net code. So we haven't seen it in play tonight. I don't think we've seen it yet anyway. No. But you've got to be super, super careful. So it's not just about a case of driving sensibly, but getting so close, particularly bump drafting, as we said, that's the correct way to do it. But even that can sometimes has its challenges with it when net code gets in the way. So thankfully not seen that tonight, but definitely wanted that the drivers need to be aware of, I think. Yeah,
definitely as well. I can't actually see his birthday on his Facebook profile, so I'm not quite sure when his birthday is here for Alan Toon, but he is doing a great job as everybody is strewn out behind. Be interesting to see what Jamie Ayres can see being right at the back here, whether or not he's going to be able to see a lot. He just make out the cars here as well. He completely missed the start, mind you, and he's put himself 1.6 seconds back behind Ralph Cullinan, who is the leader. He's making moves on the inside. Pete Newman's nestled in there as well, and the number 64 of John Sylvester is also sitting at the back here. I'm wondering whether or not they're playing a bit of a waiting game here, Craig, and holding off to see where they sit at the front of the field later on.
Yeah, I guess we've seen that a little bit tonight from some of the drivers. I did say at the beginning of the broadcast about strategies and stuff like that. There's so much that can happen in this race, and you don't know how it plays out. I think we got to roughly, was it about this point in race 2 before we had that big accident, and we saw Griffiths come from the back, and like I said, luckiest man alive on that bit to get through all that without too much trouble. So yeah, a lot can happen. Strategy, why not give it a go? Let's see what happens.
Absolutely, see what happens here as well, and whether or not anyone can get to the front of the field. Who's going to be able to hold on for the next 9 minutes here as well? And as I say, I think Alan Toon's doing the right thing, just sitting on that inside line, taking what is the shortest route around the racetrack. Of course, when you're on that inside and you get the shortest line, it is the shortest route. It's like being in a 400-meter race and taking the inside. You run as short as possible because you don't want to add miles for no reason, and Alan Toon is trying to not add miles here as well. Ralph Cullinan to the front of the field, but here comes Pete Newman. They're now going 4 wide here in race 3. Craig, surely this can only end in one way, can't it?
I guess, yeah, it's looking a little bit. It looks like it's going that way. Race 3, one more race to go. Drivers are going to be looking for to get something from tonight. They've seen what's possible by the other races in terms of coming from quite a way behind and getting that win. So yeah, it's going to be on their minds. It looks like they're not willing to sit back and wait. They want to get on with this. They want to make some positions, and they want to get up towards the front.
Is Alan Toon. He's come off his favoured inside line to try and make their move past Ralph Cullinan. Now slots in again back on the inside. Made a very conscious decision there as well. Cullinan nearly come up and threw a block at him as well, and he managed to hold on, did Alan Toon. Is he going to be able to keep going? They're now going to go 4 wide. We've got 4 sets of headlights peering at us down the straight of Indy as we come over the line once more. 7.5 minutes remaining, and at the moment it's Hefford, Owen, Cullinan, Owen, Siddons and Toon, but it's swapping around all over the place. Alan Toon's just got to stay to the inside line. Newman's nestled out on that outside line. Never count out Pete Newman, though. That's the thing with Pete in that 118 car, though, isn't it, Craig? You never count him out for anything.
This is exactly what he done in race 1, wasn't it? He sat in that same position every lap. He was just sat up there, sort of going up on the higher line, I guess, and he's just waiting to see what happens. Like, let these guys battle, let these guys put themselves at risk. It's that whole thing again. I've mentioned it since I've been doing some commentary with you. It's that whole risk and reward. These guys are taking a huge gamble by racing like this. And he's just going to sit back, see what happens, and towards the end of the race he's going to start making his moves, and that's how he's going to get his win.
We've got 4 result cars in this pack. Fiona Siddons to Alan Toon, Ralph Cullinan and Darrell Wright here, so we've got a good opportunity for results to snag it once more. Coming over the line now, 3 wide again, 6.5 minutes remaining. You can see the set of headlights that we have got. You can see them all jostling. Cullinan's made his way to the front now as well. He's just pulled out and made a move. Siddons, you can't bully your way in. There is a car alongside you here as well. Fiona Siddons in the pink and black car with Alan Toon in the green and black roll bar with Cullinan in the green and white in front. Pushing through again here, trying to open up the pack. Hefford's gone and done and try and get this 3 wide, but he's gone up and he's all on his own. He hasn't got any friends to give him a little bit of a push. Pete Newman's on the outside. He's being pushed by Jamie Ayres as well as Sylvester, I believe. And Griffiths is just dropping off the back a little bit. It's a second, Craig, here from back to front. Oh, no! Ayres, Owens, Newman. How did this one play out there with Jamie Ayres? How did he get caught up in this? Started with Siddons, I think. Started with Siddons and Owens further up. We did say there was a lot of movement from Siddons, that probably one that should have been kept straight. Owens is trying to come out. Oh! Siddons just doesn't move there, Craig, and Owens has just got nowhere to go apart from into the wall.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact sort of at the beginning of that corner as well, wasn't there? So it was looking like that was on the cards. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, I was just saying beforehand how Pete Newman was kind of sat up there waiting for something to happen, and I would have thought he would have been safe as houses up there. But it turns out he probably was in the worst place possible for an incident like that, which is unfortunate to see.
Yeah, we've just lost Ralph Cullinan. He's literally just disappeared out the middle of the session and has now dropped all the way out. But that's going to leave Bramer on his own with Hefford, on his own with Toon, on his own with Wrighty, who's going to try and make moves as well. And all he really wants to do is just push Alan Toon to the victory. 4.5 minutes remaining. They're coming over the line now, 109s. Here as well, so that's going to give him about another 4 to 5 laps at the most to try and make this. Alan Toon, stay away, you're in a prime position, dear sir. Stay away and battle on and survive another day. He's trying to run his optimal line, which is round that inside. Oh, Toon clips Steve Hefford. Hefford manages to survive, but boy, oh boy, that was close.
That was painfully close. I mean, if Alan Toon has ever got the best opportunity for a race win, I think this is going to be it. So he's got to be super careful what he's doing here. He's on that line. He seems to prefer that line. That's where he seems to be racing, and he feels the most comfortable. So I think there's a chance here we might get our wish here, James.
Oh, he's going to be moving up now. He's got a massive amount of overspeed. Really, he just wants to sit in behind Bramer and let Bramer push Bramer along, but Tooney's decided he's not going to do that. He's going to go and take the lead of the race here as well. He's got Ewan Bramer alongside him. How is Alan Toon? Whether or not he's going to do it, he's heading over the line in the lead just about. Bramer's just got his nose in front now as well. Tooney can slot in behind him if he really wants to. Oh, Alan Toon, stay on a straight line there, bud. I can tell you that much. You nearly had Steve Efford.
Just you've got to just keep your head together. You know, he knows that this is an opportunity. You can tell he knows this is an opportunity, and it's just I don't like watching this, James. It's making me really nervous to see this. Oh no! Stay there. Another reason why he should be tucking in behind as well. It just takes that whole risk out of it.
Oh, he's making bangs, is Tony, and not making bangs as in blowing things up. He's giving him a little bit of a knock here when really he should just go sit behind Bramer and let Bramer do it, or let Steve push you along.
Oh no!
Or push him in the wall. One of the two.
I might take much more of this. I really can't. Is it over yet? Is the race finished?
You got one and one more yet. Tooney sat in second place. Kind of bullied his way in there as Alan Toon. Now we're all praying he's going to come down. He's going to try and go out into the lead again. I think he should just settle in. One more here. 12 laps gone, 1 minute 41 on the clock. You just need to push. Let Steve push you along in front. Now Tooney's in front. Now he had the opportunity to come over on Bramer there. He's just not going to get it. Now he's got to take the inside line. He does take the inside line. Can Alan Toon hold it? He's got this and one more, Craig. This and one more just to hold on. And can he take this victory?
I've pulled my chair back in anticipation of a sudden jump up in the air with excitement. This is absolutely brilliant to watch, and I tell you now, if he's got one of his biggest allies on that track is in Mr. Steve Hefford as well, so he's in the perfect position here. I'm very excited. Look, this is Alan Toon crossing the line with Barney, the flag bearer there, just in full swing. We have never seen this. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for our young Sir Alan Toon, and I've got absolutely everything crossed here.
Oh, he's going now into turn 2 is Toon into 2, keeping that inside line. He needs that push from Ewan Bramer, or he needs something from Steve Hefford. Steve's gonna try and move out the way. He's still being pushed along from Ewan Bramer. Bramer can't take the inside. Tooney's running the inside. He's hugging it tighter than my daughter hugging her ear. And I can tell you what, that's tight. He's got to be able to do it now as well. He's coming round turn 3. So Alan Toon, you've got the opportunity. Round turn 4. He's fighting it out. He's still holding on. Here comes Tom Griffiths and Brown. No! Nobody's over the line. Nobody's over the line. Steve Efford's going to waddle over. He waddled over in front to Alan Toon. Nobody's over the line. Tooney's going to come across in third.
I am just speechless.
Oh, this is it. There's the contact. Bang. I do love the fact that nobody crossed the line now. I want to see what happened to Steve Efford, because he didn't even make it over the line either. I think him and Darryl Wright about it. Oh, we've got into the next session. That sucks. Oh, well.
If you could see me now, I am just literally...
Are you crying?
My head is in my hands. I just cannot believe
that just
got snatched away from Alan Toon in the dying seconds of that race.
Steve Efford was the winner somehow. Darryl Wright in second with Sir Alan Toon in third. Tom Griffiths in fourth. Jamie Ayres fifth. Miles Owen sixth. Fiona Siddons seventh. Ewan Bramer eighth. John Sylvester ninth. Pete Newman and Ralph Cullinan were in the final positions here as well. What a shame for Alan Toon. He was on for the win, and unfortunately for Alan Toon, he just couldn't make it. Craig, finish it off.
I can't believe how, I can't tell you how disappointed I am. I thought that was it. I thought I was getting ready. I had my chair back and everything, and literally the last few seconds. I mean, I can guarantee he's happy. He got third place. He'd be
Yeah.
over the moon for that. But just how disappointing. I don't think I've ever seen an end to a race like that ever.
No. Where hardly anyone come over the line. My heart was in my mouth watching that, says David Ez. Yeah, weren't you all there, bud? We all were. I thought Alan Toon was going to get it. I thought he was going to get it, and he didn't quite get it because of carnage, chaos, everything else that happened at the end. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Tough for Alan Toon there, mate, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Just he was doing everything, almost everything right as well. You know, he just tucked in, and you know, it was that last. Everyone was going to try and go for it. Let's face it. Yeah, I'm just so gutted for him. I really, genuinely am. I can't believe we've just witnessed that.
I know, it's such a shame because he was doing so well, was Alan Toon as well. Doing so well down the final straight. I don't know if he was throwing the big blocks or what he was up to, but he did in the end just not quite get over the line. So, yeah, shame. It is a shame.
Well, my secret sources are saying that apparently his birthday's in July, so that solves that mystery for you, James.
July?
July,
Really?
apparently. Yeah.
Oh.
Whether that's accurate or not, apparently that's what his Facebook says. But you know, I have a fake birthday on my Facebook, so he might do the same. I don't know.
I don't know why. It just leads to me wishing you happy birthday when it ain't. What happened?
Which is, yeah, and you weren't the only one, to be fair. But yeah, I just, from a kind of sort of data protection point of view, I tend to, I saw it as like a hack or a trick or something on a program once, and they were saying it's not actually a good idea to have your birthday on your Facebook profile. So yeah, I promptly changed mine.
I don't even know if I've got birthdays. No idea. But there you go, guys, as well. Unfortunately, we are going into the last race of the evening, and I think you can safely say it's been... what's the word I'm looking for, Craig? What has it been?
Roller coaster.
That works. It definitely has been a roller coaster of emotions, of feelings, of highs, of lows, of incidents and accidents, of, I don't know, everything. I think that's the way to sum up this as well. Such a short field. Can you imagine if we had the normal 25 people here, Craig? Oh.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, all we would see is generally the same thing happening, but just in sort of two groups rather than the one group. But yeah, it would have been interesting. It would have definitely been I mean, tonight has been entertaining, to be fair. There was I don't think we've had too many kind of dull moments in the racing, but yeah, a bigger grid would have been a spectacle in itself. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Let's bring up the grid for race 4, the final race of the evening. Is this Alan Toon's time to shine? Is this where we're going to see it now? Let's have a look. It's going to be Pete Newman on pole with John Sylvester second and Ewan Bramer third, Siddons fourth, Owens fifth, Ayres sixth, Griffiths seventh, Alan Toon eighth, Darrell Wright ninth, Steve Evans 10th, and Ralph Cullinan down in 11th place. Well, let's see. I would say C, but oh, there they are. As well, how this gets on. We have got a pace lap, of course, before we get this up and running. And then we will be away for the final race here, Craig. Who do we think is going to win this one?
Alan Toon. I don't know. I generally don't know. Who can predict anything after what we've just saw? I would have bet my house on Alan Toon winning that race coming around that final corner, and it didn't happen. So yeah, let's sit back. Let's take it all in. Let's try not to get too excited too soon, because that's what race 3 taught us, I'm afraid.
It definitely did. We were on the edge of our seats, both of us here as well, ready to go. And we were both going to be cheering, and we unfortunately couldn't. Done and dusted there as well. So some great epic action going on. Let's see how the final race of this evening goes as well. Thanks so much for joining me. Come on now, we're all rooting for you. And then David Ayre saying this is the best broadcast ever. So many ups and downs. Or highs and lows, sorry. What do we think, Craig?
I would agree with that, to be honest with you. I think it's one of those. It's like one of those episodes of something on TV where it's just got those twists and turns that you never saw coming. And let's face it, there are no twists and turns here because we're at an oval. Yeah, it's been a good one. So it's race 4. Let's see what this one has to bring for us.
Yeah, Lisa right there as well. Toon! Let's just put in YouTube chat. So come on, Tooney. It's all on you, dear sir. Only you can make this one, and only you can take this win. We are locked up. We are going. Newman going to be weaving across the circuit, of course. Alan Toon's got to latch on to somebody and do it quickly, because he doesn't want to do this as well. And now they're all a little bit further spread than they were. 2.5 seconds from front to back, Craig. I'm not worried yet. I'm sure he'll be able to mature this and bring this one in, as they've still got 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of time in this race, especially when they start going 4 or 5 wide, which I anticipate will be happening at any second now. He could easily bring that time back in, and he's already gained 0.7. So yes, he's not out of the fight yet.
No, he definitely isn't. As these guys take it 4 wide, are they going to wipe themselves out? That would be an interesting one. Take themselves out right at the beginning. That's going to allow the guys behind Alan Toon to pull up, and Steve Hefford as well, and Ralph. Cullen's 2 laps down. He's got to go past everyone twice. And there's no yellow flag, so we don't see.
Oh no! Exit stage left.
What was she doing? How did she get there?
Got flagged.
Oh, was that contact? Yes, on the opposite. Oh, yeah. Fiona Siddons into the wall, and around she goes. That was contact with Miles Owens in the 74 here as well. Tooney's still hanging on. I would say you could see him at the back, but you literally cannot see him at the back. He's going to be coming through like a stealth assassin as the lights light up the cars in front. Now they all want to start making moves here. 13 minutes on the clock. Siddons is in the pit lane. Cullinan's still running. I think he's just going around and enjoying himself, is Ralph Cullinan, but he is all the way back here. He's got a long way to latch on to anyone. Steve Hefford at the moment nearly takes the lead of the race, just not quite this time. Alan Toon on the top line there, following Pete Newman and the Sim Racing Sweden. I believe that's John Sylvester in front of him as well. 12.5 minutes. Tooney's off his normal inside line here, Craig. Is he doing it right?
Well, yeah, I mean, interesting again, to my point in the last race, look where Pete Newman's choosing to sit. He's choosing to sit on that outside line and just be patient and see what happens. He's a bit further forward than we've seen him, but that seems to be working for him. I know in race 3 he got taken out from being in that position, but he's playing he's doing a smart drive here. So yeah, if Tooney can follow him, and if he catches on to what I believe I've spotted as a consistent kind of strategic move, I guess. Yeah, he could be in with a good shout here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not over. I think that's the thing. Although we're sitting here looking at 12 minutes, I still don't think this is over. Even Scary Mary was hooked on race 3 and Alan. Yeah, I think we all was there. I think everybody was anticipating Tooney to take it. Hooks back onto his favoured inside line again, Craig. That shorter route once more here for Alan Toon. He's running around the inside now. Newman's on the high side. Hefford's in the middle. Then we've got Owens nestling in as well. Now Steve Hefford's going to be sat in behind Owens, or is he going to leave that and allow Alan Toon to have that? Toon decides, well, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to go 3 wide. When really, that's the best place to be for Alan Toon. Don't put it against the wall, because all he's got to do is just run you into it there, Greg, and then you're stuck. So, yeah, 3 wide going into turn 2 now. Here we go once more. The little MX5s. Griffiths is going to take up the mantle at the front of the field. Toon is in 4th. Then we've got Hefford. Then we've got a Newman, Ayres, Sylvester. Cullinan still chasing him down as well. He's in 9th at the moment. I still think, how the hell has Ralph Cullinan taken on 2 laps? Got on to the lead lap. Sure, he was 2 laps down earlier.
You did state that, yeah. That's a bit of a strange one.
I'm sure the overlay said he was 2 laps down as well, but never mind. Ralph Cullen and Harry Potter in onto the lead lap there with a little bit of a, I don't know, Lugal powder or flu powder or whatever he's used here as well, but he keeps going on. Now we're going around to 3. Alan Toon's on the inside. He's behind the lead 74 here in the black and blue roll bar. That's the only way I'm going to be able to point this out to you. Here with the, I can't even say with the headlights, because they've all got headlights on. No, well done. Sitting behind him now. If you're wondering where Alan Toon is, I can't, there's no point in pointing to him because you can't even see that. He's on the inside, the 65 car. They're currently around the inside line. So just keep an eye on Tooney and see where he goes. Newman's in the mix as well. Griffiths is there once more. Sylvester's running the high line. Who's got the inside line? I believe that might be Jamie Ayres, who has come off the inside. That's Griffiths, I believe, on the inside behind Sir Alan Toon. Wright's now taking up the mantle at the top part. Ayres has got to run out of the middle of nowhere. He's literally like he's put nitrous oxide on that MX5 there, Greg, and it's just come pulling his way straight through.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's just what can appear from these cars. I mean, yeah, they're going 4 wide almost as we go around here. It's still so early on in this race. There's a lot that can happen, and I don't know if I'd be taking those sort of risks at the moment.
Yeah, but you're not Alan Toon. You are not the man behind the car. You're not the man who's going to produce it here, Craig. He's going to get the victory in race 4. Hefford's come over now as well. Is Steve Hefford going to try and block him off once more? Did he try and get in front of Miles Owens to block him off? Ayres up high, blocking off Pete Newman. Now Tooney's going to be trying to sit in that 3rd place there on the inside line again. He cannot afford to go up the too far upside. Steve Hefford, he's got to try and latch on and keep on with Owens. Hefford's now on the high side. Newman's right out against the wall. That's Jamie Ayres being also pushed out against the wall as well. I'm wondering, there is Tom Griffiths. No, that's not Cullinan. There's somebody out there with Jamie Ayres. I think it might be John Sylvester tucked up behind Ayres at the moment. It is Sylvester at the back of the field behind Jamie Ayres with Darrell Wright on the inside line. Alan Toon trying to run the inline as well. He's now behind Miles Owens. Steve Hefford's trying to come through the middle. They're going to go 3 wide with Tom Griffiths as well. Here coming around turn 4, Craig, on the start finish straight again. And I find ourselves in that predicament that we've seen all evening.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alan might actually be listening to a certain extent. So I think he's choosing not to sort of touch the car in front. So he seems to keep getting the run and sort of kind of trying to come out of that draft to sort of slow himself down a little bit. So yeah, hopefully he's playing the long patient game here. So yeah, all eyes on Alan Toon. There's certainly a little bit of dicing and moving about going on in the background as well. So yeah, I think we're going to start to see some moves towards the front from sort of the cars behind. Yeah. Hopefully, all without a big impact like we've seen so far tonight. So here we go. We're going down the straight. We're currently 3 wide. Going to try and make it 4 wide. This is where the danger zone is. This is where the pinch point appears as you're racing around. You've got to be careful. You've got to remember about that net code. Coming back out into the straight, and I'm sure they're all going to make it out to be a 5 wide scenario for the next corner for us.
Yeah, we got Just open 8-5 wide, including Alan Toon. Saying that much, you don't want to be seeing that. If I was him, I would just lift a little bit and let these guys go at it. It looks like we've got Miles Owens a little bit excitable at the front of this pack. He's got his teammate Sylvester now behind him. Newman's still back out on that high line. Griffiths tucked in right behind him underneath. Cullinan is still on his own, tooling around in the dark, unfortunately for Ralph Cullinan. Just there as well, out on a Sunday drive with his whiskey and his Guinness as he goes on his way. Now Tooney's tucked in as well. Right, he's making a lot of moves here, Craig. I'm a bit worried that if it's going to come right in front of Alan Toon.
Yeah,
It might play into his hands though if it does happen. So I think Alan's doing the right thing at the moment. I mean, I'm struggling to watch everything else. My eyes are just glued to Alan, and I'm just sending so much kind of positivity and hope to him that this is going to be the one. But yeah, it's so far so good. There's lots of respect and space being given, which is good to see. So as I say that, there's a little bit of a touch there. So yeah, just take it easy. There's a few laps left to come in this one. One just needs to keep calm, keep their cool.
Yeah. 5 minutes on the clock, 5.5 minutes to go. That gives us about another 5 laps. There is literally 0.7 of a second over everyone here as well. Miles Owens still hanging on. Tooney still in there as well on that inside line. So is Hefford. So is Griffiths. Newman Ayres is still out on the outside. I believe that Sylvester has now dropped right to the back of the field. I feel like I'm commentating on the national here, Craig, with all of these drivers all over the place at the moment as well. Inside, middle, outside, 5 wide. What's going to happen, Craig, as we go into the final 4.5 minutes?
You literally can't. It's any one of these drivers could win this, and I hope it finishes like this. I hope it doesn't finish in a final end of the race start finish line dash where we saw poor old Alan Toon getting taken out in that last race. I want it to be a close battle. I want to see another time. Oh, it's like contact there. Be careful, boys. Don't keep doing that. That's making me feel uncomfortable watching this. It really is, and I think it's a little bit more making me a little bit more unnerved because it's in the dark as well.
Yeah. Tooney's now come off that inside line. He's just been blocked by Darrell Wright. He wants that inside line. Wright's not going to give it to him there as well. Lisa, get hold of Darrell and get him out of the way, or get him to push everyone out of the way and allow Alan Toon to take the win. That might work.
Yeah.
If it's my daughter's advice in BDLV, mate, she's always right.
Yeah, absolutely. And who are we to argue with her?
Oh, she's your best friend. You go and argue.
No, thanks.
Chicken. She's only 6. Don't be scared.
So Alan's moved out into the sort of central position on the track. I was wondering where you don't want to be. We've got a couple of laps left now, so you don't really want to be on that inside line too much, because if you're going to make a move, you're going to need the space to be able to make that move. And every time you come out of that corner, the cars in front seem to be disappearing. So maybe that's the opportunity and get up the inside. I don't know, but yeah, he's starting to. I think he's starting to think about this win.
Yeah, he's moved up to the middle. He's moved up to the middle. Lisa's yelling at Darrell to try and get him out of the way. So thank you very much, Lisa, on that one as well. Tooney's now gone back on the inside. He's now nestled in behind Steve Hefford. We've got about, I think it's going to be this one and one more. I think this is it. This is it now. There's going to be this one and one more. And looking at the time, Owens has now dropped away from the front. That's allowed Steve Hefford to go up front. Now Hefford. Now we know these two are good friends, right? Steve Hefford and Alan Toon. Steve's been to his house, fixed his computer and rig and whatever else here for Alan Toon. Do we think Stevie can move over and let him through?
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But knowing Steve, he'll do it in typical Hefford style. He won't make it too obvious.
Just go and take out the cars next to him. Directly right.
I think that would be too obvious, but I don't know.
No. Oh, no. Now it's Newman. Now it's Owens. Now it's White. Now it's Sylvester. Now Tooney's sitting in again. He's in that 2-4. I don't know where he is. Sixth? I think sixth place at the moment. He's got to try and hang on as they're coming round turn 2. There is going to be a back marker in play. That is Fiona Siddons, who got caught there from Miles Owens and ended up in the wall. Tony's trying to make the inside line. He knows the track ends. He cannot go there so much as well. It's going to be, we're going to have, I believe, we might just make one more lap here as well for Alan Toon. Darryl Wright's on the outside. Darryl could play a big part in blocking that outside line at the moment as well. No! Oh! Get on the track! Oh!
You can see he wants it. He definitely wants it. It's in his mind.
Tooney's now going up with Hefford. He's now going to get a massive overspeed run sitting behind him.
See, this is what he needs next lap round.
He's going to go through the middle. Oh, he's settled in. He's in second.
Come on.
Lisa, if Darryl don't lift and let him through, I want you to go in and slipper Darryl. All right?
Just unplug his PC. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Power cut.
Reset the router. Just say the internet went out.
Come on, he's first. This is it. This is his opportunity. Come on, Alan Toon.
Oh,
you can do it. I so want to see this happen.
No,
he was robbed. Oh, come on.
Look at Tom Griffiths. Griffiths is coming in as well. Oh, he's not going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, not going to make it now.
Oh!
Where's he going? Wherever he's going, he's going to be there in the morning. Alan Toon. Alan Toon. Push him. Somebody push him. Come on now. I don't think he's going to get there. I think it's going to be Steve Evan and Griffiths and Wright and Newman. No, didn't get there. Oh.
But we did get a good finish, though. We did get a good finish. I mean, look at the difference in times across the sort of top six there. That was a fantastic finish to watch. Really unfortunate again for Sir Alan Toon on that final lap.
He even took the shorter route at the end, didn't he?
he was trying, and he wanted that win as much as we wanted to see him have that
on the
win.
inside, he's like, I've had enough, I'm going. Oh, Evan bumped it. Oh, if Tooney had thrown the block on righty, he would have got a nice little bump then.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa, go and slip at Darryl. We finished in front of Alan. Oh, well, there we go. We have got a bit of a long old wait at the moment because Cullinan's not, he's finished, but Siddons unfortunately didn't get lapped again and is now got to wait till she comes over the line. So there we go. We've got to wait for Fiona Siddons to come over the line in 10th place there as well. So there you go. We've got Steve Hefford waiting in the booth here, Craig. We'll have a chat with him, or you can have a chat with him. He hears my voice every week. So get your question ready. Right. Let's bring you up the results here as well. Steve Hefford was your winner with Tom Griffiths, Darryl Wright, Pete Newman, John Sylvester and Sir Alan Toon. He won the AMs though, mind you, but he just didn't win the overall. Jamie Ayres, Miles Owens, Ralph Cullinan, Fiona Siddons, and he won Braymond. I love it. Lisa's put slipper in hand in YouTube chat. Why? So why we've got him up here as well. Here you go, Greg. There's Steve Hefford for you.
Hello, Mr. Hefford. How are you?
Hello, Craig. Good to speak to you.
Interesting track choice tonight. How did you find that one?
I just wanted it to end in quali, to be fair.
Not a fan then of an oval?
No, not really. I've never done an oval race in iRacing in my life. I'm still a rookie. No license at all because I've not done any, but hoping to get into it into the future though, maybe a little bit. Do some endurance stuff.
So what was the mindset going into tonight? Was it, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that you can't really have a strategy in this sort of racing because so much can kind of happen. Was there any sort of plan going forward?
No, not really. It's just a laugh, isn't it? Winter series, just a bit of fun, really. So I just wanted to finish all the races, which I did just about, I think.
Well, I can tell you,
one of them you finished on 3 wheels there, Steve.
Yes. Backwards.
Yes. Sorry, Craig, you carry on. I'll shut up.
No, well, I was just about to say. So the YouTube has been lit up tonight with the performance that we saw from Sir Alan Toon. So quite a few times you were either in front of him or behind of him there. So was there any sort of game plan with it being Sir Alan and you two obviously being good friends? Were you there trying to support him, or was it just racing?
Yeah, I wanted him to win. To be fair, I was trying to block in the next to last race. I was trying to block Milo in because he was behind Alan, and I told Alan just stay on the line and I'll block him in behind you. And coming out of the corners in the middle, you get a better exit, you get more speed because you're on a bigger circle. And that was my idea, just to lift off and manage it and let Alan win. But Milo managed coming off the exit. I went a little tiny bit wide. No, it was Iwan, sorry, not Milo. And it just gave Iwan enough room to pull out from behind Alan on the exit of the corner, and then they came together and touched. That was the third race. I ended up winning that one, didn't I? Because of a big pile up. But yeah, that was the plan, to get Alan to win, but it didn't happen. It would have been nice.
Well, I tell you what, James, do you want to quickly just finish off with Steve? And I'm going to see if I can quickly grab Alan for a chat.
Yeah, go for it, mate, as well. Though, Steve, you say Winter Series ovals, bit of a laugh, bit of a crack. Everybody had a good time. Bit of a low number. Would have been nice if we got the normal 20 plus here. But did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy what was going on? Because as you say, it's an oval when you're not an oval lover.
Yeah, I'm sat here with the steering wheel in my hand, aren't I? So I'm having fun, whatever.
And that's all that matters, buddy, innit, at the end of the day. Listen, anyone you want to shout out before I let you go, bud?
Everyone and yourselves. For doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Well done for Alan for being there.
Every single race, he's done a stellar job here this evening as well. So well done,
He
Tyler.
has, yeah.
Steve, you have a good one there, buddy, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
See you. Night.
All right, we're going to bring Craig back into the booth here, Craig. I think we're going to have to go and report some domestic abuse happening at the Righty household, as he's just come in YouTube and go, I've just been beaten up. I think Lisa's go and bopped him with the slipper.
I don't think he's going to get anyone reporting that.
It was your own fault. You should have let Alan 2 win, Righty. I'm sorry there, sir.
Yeah, fully deserved.
Fully deserved. Slipper in hand, Lisa. Go get him, girl. Buff him. So there we go as well. What was the story with Alan Toon?
As soon as I jumped in the chat room there, he jumped out. So I just literally missed him by a second. So, unfortunate.
All right, mate. Well, there you go, Craig. Did you enjoy your night of ovals in the UK SimRacers MX5?
I certainly did. It was what I expected it to be, and so much more. I'm still so gutted about that Alan Toon situation in both those final races. He was definitely driver of the night. You know, you're probably unfortunately never going to see that again. And you know, Alan knows that as well. You know, that was his opportunity to get that race win. I've got so much love and respect for that guy. He just turns up every week. He puts the practice in. He's one of the most consistent drivers for turning up and racing here every week. So it was really good to see him out in front, and it's just such a shame he couldn't get that race win.
Yeah, definitely is there as well. Darryl, some far mistakes. So I believe that's actually Fiona Siddons. Well done, Lisa. And Darryl said, I tried. I was working with Steve. Well, Lisa didn't feel you tried hard enough, Darryl. You better get your pillow, dear sir, and prop your butt on that sofa tonight with a dog if you've got one, because that sounds just about where he could be going here, Craig, as well. So thanks so much to everybody that's joined me in YouTube chat as well. It's been a great old time. I've had quite a good laugh with everyone this evening, Craig, as well. We're going on to Lebanon next week. Have you ever been there before?
No, I can't say that I have.
No, me neither. And then we're going on to Mugello, and then we do have another oval, which is the Phoenix Legacy on round 9. So I suppose Tooney might have a another crack at it then. And then we go Watkins Cup and then Rod Scogan to finish off as well. Good night, Lisa. You put Darryl on the sofa. He's been a naughty boy and didn't allow Antoon through. But I think that's going to wrap it up tonight as well from myself up here in the booth. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Craig Jones. And as always, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.